Hello, this is Mark Denham, radio presenter, audio producer, podcaster, and voiceover. It's Audio Journey Part 42. You can find the whole thing on the website, markdenham.com. All 42 parts, as of today, of the Audio Journey, right from the beginning up to where we are now. And today, if we hop into Adobe Audition, we are looking at getting rid of noise in audio. Now, you can see here is a waveform. And you can actually see in this waveform, if we get rid of I was going to pop open the preview window. If we have a little look here, you can actually see that there is noise there actually in the waveform. You can see there the noise actually exists in the waveform. And even if we open up the spectral frequency, you can see there, if there was no noise, that would be absolutely black. So you can see that there is noise there. And just to prove it, I'm going to pick a big bit here. And I'm going to normalize that up. So I'm going to go to normalize, and this is the noise. So there is quite a bit of background noise there. Let's undo that normalizing. There is quite a bit of background noise in there, and you can even hear it.
Atom Radio. This is 70s at 7.
You can even hear it while we're actually listening to the audio. So if we're going to use this audio, which I have done, if we're going to use this, we need to clean up that noise first. Now, how do you do that? First things first, let's zoom in here because this, I think, is the biggest gap. So we'll have a little listen. Okay, why are we having a listen? We just want to make sure that there's no breaths or mouth clicks or anything like that in there that's going to distort it. That is just the noise floor. All right, so we will select that. We'll go into the Amplitude Statistics window. If that's not open for you, go to Window and Amplitude Statistics, pop it open, and we will scan the selection. Let's have a little look there. The maximum RMS amplitude, minus 42.55 decibels. That's an important number for us now, because what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the effects rack, and we'll shrink that back down so we can see the whole thing. We're going to go into the effects rack, amplitude and compression, dynamics. Now, you can auto-gate this, and an auto-gate is basically open and shut. So if the audio is above the prescribed level, the gate is open and all the audio gets through, including the noise, which will be in the background of that. There's not too much we can do about that without overall degrading the quality of the audio. But if the noise is beneath the level, then the gate closes and no audio gets through. There are settings there. Threshold attack, release, and hold. The other option is the downward expander, which is slightly different in that it says if the noise is above the level, let it all through. If it's beneath it, downward expand it by the ratio which you set. So there are two different ways of doing it. We'll look firstly at the downward expander. Now we know that it was minus 42.55. I don't think you can put the 5.5s in. Yeah, you can put a 5 in. All right. And then we'll set a ratio of, let's say, 3:1 to downward expand that noise. Now, a downward expander is basically a compressor in reverse. To me, it makes no sense at all. Expansion is making bigger. What the expansion is doing here is it's making quieter. It makes no sense why it's called a downward expander, but it is. Let's pop open the preview window here, and you can see that we've had a minor effect on that. We've had a minor effect. If we up the ratio, let's say 10:1, then still only a minor effect. So let's up this just to minus 42 to just make sure that we're getting it all. And still not much of an effect using the downward expander. If we hop over here to the auto gate and we set it at minus 20, you can see anything beneath minus 20 has gone. That may also get rid of some of the other noise as well. And that's why it's important that we took that reading from the Amplitude Statistics. Now there is just a little bit just creeping through still. That's probably...
This is 70s at 7.
Much better, though, you can see on the spectral frequency. There is noise here, clearly noise here, and just a tiny, tiny little bit in here as well. I'm guessing there'll be some clicks or something in this bit.
Atom.
No, not clicks. So what we could probably do, because this is obviously been compressed, what we could probably do is we could probably go just a little higher than the Amplitude Statistics reported. And there you go. Because Amplitude Statistics reported a figure of 42.55. I went with minus 42. We can go just a little bit higher. It's important, though, just to check. Let's look at this. See, that's still there. If you set it too aggressively, then it can start to cut off the end of words, because naturally, as you get to the end of a sentence, you'll find that your voice becomes a little quieter as certain words tail off. Obviously, if it's a word that ends hardly, like correct, then it probably doesn't. But if it's just a word that perhaps just peters out, like Peters, then will get quieter. And you don't want to set your gate to trap that out as well. Otherwise, it will sound very unnatural. You can also just put a little bit of hold on here as well, which just means that it just holds off just that little fraction so it doesn't chop off the end of words or chop off the beginning of words. And if you have a look now, if we just close this down, you can see we have eliminated most of the noise. There is a little bit here, troublesome bit here.
App.
Now, let's go in. Why is that troublesome? Well, if you listen,
App.
You've got the end of the p, the app, and then you've got a breath.
Great.
And that breath is triggering the auto gate that we've set, because that breath is louder than the volume of the gate that we've set. If we were to run, say, Amplitude Statistics, let me just get the correct bit here.
App.
Right, if we were to run Amplitude Statistics across this bit here, including the breath now, and we will scan the selection, let's have a look, minus 37.32. That would now change the figure that we put in here if we wanted to try and cut out the breath as well. So we'll go to minus 37, and let's see what that does now. You can see there, that's taken out most of the breath as well now. This is still a troublesome piece in the audio. But if you have a look, you've got a fairly clean bass now. This is the actual audio as it stands. This is what the effect in the effect rack would do. That's the preview window. You can open it up in the top right-hand corner, and you can see that is a preview of what the effect, or any number of effects that you queue up in your effects rack, will have. This is a little bit tricky.
In-app.
There is quite a bit of background noise there, but you can see if you listen to this one, then this is much, much quieter now between the two.
Mark Denham with Drive Time. Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Much, much quieter. And then all you would do is apply that. And there you go. You can now use that audio in your production, whatever it is. The best idea, of course, by the way, is just to record without the noise. That is absolutely the best idea. But if indeed you get something like this and it does have a bit of background noise in it, remember, open up the Amplitude Statistics window. It'll either be up here in the top left-hand corner, or it'll be under Window and Amplitude Statistics. If it's not open, tick it there. It will come open. Scan the selection, and you are looking for a piece that is just noise. You don't want any mouth clicks. You don't want any breath, because that will give you a false reading. You just want a bit that's noise. It doesn't really matter how long it is, to be honest. It doesn't matter whether you select a little bit like that or whether you manage to get all of this. Doesn't really matter as long as it is just noise. Then you take that maximum value that you will get from here. 2948 is changed because we've obviously scanned different bits of the audio. Take that maximum value, put that in as your auto gate threshold, and then you can just change the hold as to how quick it's going to react, just to make sure it doesn't trap anything out. Hopefully that's helped you. There is the auto gate, how to eliminate pesky noise in Adobe Audition. And that's part 42 of the audio journey complete. As always, if there are any questions, stick them in the YouTube comments below, or head to markdenham.com and use the contact tab as well if you would like to ask your question that way. That'll send me a quick email and then I will get back to you. Check out the website as well, by the way, if you need your podcast produced or you need voicing for commercials, DJ drops, anything like that, then check out the website, markdenham.com. I could very well be your man. Have yourself a safe day. Stay safe. Stay 2 meters away from everyone, of course, because coronavirus is still out there. And make some amazing audio.